walk me through what the Giants were going through with the 10 minutes on the clock when the name Baker Mayfield put the question of Darnold and Barkley in front of them, and then the phone calls that they might have been receiving to get out of that pick.
I don't know if they got any calls, Rich, but I don't think Dave Gettleman ever had any intention going into this draft of doing anything but taking the running back right there. And so it seemed like it was done quickly. I don't know how many minutes the Giants took, but I would be surprised if they entertained any offer at all for that pick, because they were going to take Barkley all along. I think the two biggest things, Rich, that happened here, and the things that surprised me, is that, number one, I don't think the Browns got any serious traction or any serious attempts to trade for the 4th overall pick. That surprises me. I don't think that either Denver or Indianapolis ever seriously considered a deal, in part because I think teams just weren't willing to give what Kansas City and Houston gave last year for Pat Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. I thought Arizona made a great, not a good, but a great trade in going up from 15 to 10, and not only not giving a future 1, not even giving a 2, to move up those 5 spots to get the last of the 4 quarterbacks. And Buffalo, I wrote about this today. Brandon Beane, the general manager of the Bills, convened a meeting yesterday morning inside the facility with everybody there, even down to the PR guy, Derek Boyko, and said, we got to investigate everything right now in the next couple hours about Josh Allen. And then they got Josh Allen on the phone, who Brandon Beane told me cried during the explanation of what happened with those tweets, 5 years ago. So, and I think they were obviously satisfied enough to trade up to number 7 to take him. Josh Allen was their guy all along. I believe if the Buffalo Bills had the first pick in this draft, they were taking Josh Allen.
Do you think, when you said that the Cleveland Browns didn't receive any viable offers, do you think that had to do with picking Baker Mayfield, then the Giants going with Saquon Barkley? It was no reason for anybody to move, because the true guy that would have made people jump, I believe, probably was Sam Darnold.
Right, and the Jets were not moving out of 3.
Correct.
What do you think, Peter?
And I think that, Steve, I think that's a really smart thing, a smart way to look at it. By the time you got to number 4 with Mayfield and with Darnold off the board, did anybody really want to pay Deshaun Watson kind of value or Pat Mahomes kind of value for 2 quarterbacks that were both viewed as flawed characters? In fact, every one of these quarterbacks in this draft was flawed. It's like what Sean Payton told me a week or so ago, that every single one of these quarterbacks is flawed. And if he had to guess 4 or 5 years from now, there'd probably be only one of them in his eyes that, would truly be a franchise-type guy, and that would be Darnold.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.